Hi.
Welcome back to the Overworked and Underpaid podcast.
I'm Zoe.
And I'm Winnie.
Welcome back. And
did you miss us?
Yeah. I've got a few moans this morning.
She does. That's what she told me.
It started to rain
today.
today.
Yes, it did.
It is Friday. It won't be released on a Friday, but you can now know that we record on a Friday. I just want to ask those people that think as soon as it starts raining that they need to go 20 miles per hour on a 50 mile per hour.
Where were you driving? On a dual carriageway?
Yeah. And I just thought, and it only happened the first time. Well, what happened first was there was a learner. And that's fine, because we all have to learn one day, and I remember being that person.
Yeah.
But then there was a particular person who I was driving behind that was just going 20 miles per hour. And it wasn't that heavy rain. Can you agree?
No, it wasn't.
And I just sat there and thought, let me move out of the way. And my pet peeve, which he or she, is when people indicate to go around cars that are on the side of the road.
Do you not want that?
No. They don't need to indicate. I know you're going around the car.
It's safer to indicate. That's what they teach you.
No, I got taught you didn't have to indicate around a car. Because you're going around the car, they can see the cars there. Because then it's confusing because you think that they're going to go right. And it's confusing for people coming the other way because they think they're going to turn right.
Okay, in certain situations it is confusing.
But it really grinds my gears. I really get very cross. Anyway, I was very happy when he thought I had a spray tan. But this is so natural.
Very tan.
Although...
yeah, there's a white spot where her necklace...
Yeah, so it looks like I've been shot. I have not been shot. Yeah, and also where my watches.
To take it off? Oh my god.
But there you go. So that was nice, but now it's raining.
Rings?
Yeah.
Oh god.
No, it's not too bad.
That's not too... Oh, okay.
Yeah, but I do have I had a curry last night, and I haven't had a curry in a long time.
Was it a takeaway?
No, we went into the restaurant, and I had my first ever vegetarian curry out.
Okay, was it? No.
Yeah, no. Well, it was all right, but it's vegetable. It's not. You go for the chicken, don't you?
Yeah, I'm not a fan of curries, to be honest.
Well, it's actually. Yeah.
Oh, this is related to our topic, which is Wagamama.
Wagamama.
If you didn't watch last week's episode, I basically said that I hated Wagamama.
Yeah. So it's a great topic for Wins.
Yeah.
She's really happy about it. To be fair, it's been quite interesting. I've learnt some new things.
Yeah, to be honest, I dreaded this topic because I don't like Wagamamas. I went there 4 times in my whole entire life. Each time I came out of there, I was left disappointed and...
Oh, so you've only been 3 times?
4 times.
4 times. Well, give it a chance.
No,
what,
4 times is enough.
When was the last time you went?
It was back in uni, when I went with my friend.
So we're talking a few years ago now.
Quite a few years.
Well, give it another go. I think after this episode, you have to go and give another critique.
Should we film it?
yeah, we can. We will do that.
Here's Woody eating
Wagamamas. We will actually do that because that'd be funny.
Okay.
You will enjoy it.
I just don't like how they're ripping me off on food that I would say I'm quite familiar with.
Yes. No, okay, yeah, so I don't have that element. I guess I would feel like that.
Yeah. Ripped off, scammed.
Do you think it's expensive then?
Yes, for what it is.
Really? Okay.
My parents could cook that for you for half the price.
What? I still have to pay them?
Yeah, you need to pay them, okay? A deposit of £20 per person.
You'll be taking it, so go in. Well, yeah, open up. This could be your calling. Parents cook.
A food truck.
You just get the deposit. They think they're cooking for free. You take all the money.
No, they're not dumb like that.
They're like that.
Money, please.
Yeah, give it to me now. Give it to me, baby.
If you want us to sing that song, listen to last week's episode.
Yes. Yeah, it was good fun. It was a really fun episode last week. I enjoyed it.
We talked about Amy Winehouse, and I talked about
you talked about it was really sweet.
Very cute.
Watch a documentary that Winnie's put on our Instagram, and it'll brighten our moods.
Yeah, it was a very cute documentary. So
Yes, who started last week?
You started last week.
So, I hand over to Winfred.
Winnie. Just Winnie. Not Winifred. What?
Not Winsy.
Not Winsy. Definitely not Winsy. Definitely not.
Oh, why the fudge not?
I'm holding the duck emoji.
Yeah, for those people that are listening.
For audio listeners. So, mine is loosely related to Wagamamas.
Okay.
And like I said, I was dreading this week. But when I looked into this story, I thought, I could relate to this.
Okay.
So, do you know the original founder of Wagamamas?
No, I know when it was founded.
Which?
Well, I do, but I want you to say it. It's Alan Yao.
Alan Yao. He is the original founder of the restaurant.
And it was 1991?
1992.
Sorry, I was a year off.
I think it's 1992.
Yeah,
yes.
It was 1992.
Founded in 1992.
So I was surprised at how
in London.
it wasn't actually that long ago. Well,
No,
it is quite long
recent,
ago.
isn't it? It's quite a new restaurant in terms of if you compare it to other.
And a new chain.
Yes.
Chain, right?
Quite a few chains out there.
Yeah.
So when I did a little digging, I found out about Alan Yao, and he was an immigrant from Hong Kong.
Oh.
Yes. So I relate to this because both my parents are immigrants from Hong Kong. And when I was...
Did you know that before you looked that up? Or did you just find that out when you were looking it up?
No, I found it out when I was
Because I
looking it up.
remember us talking about it after last week's episode. And we were just sort of looking at what we could do.
Yeah.
And I didn't think we knew that.
But
That's
now
exciting.
you do. He's
Now
a Hong
we
Kong
do.
immigrant. Yes, he's a Hong Kong immigrant
Yes.
who came to England many decades ago. And when I was watching this documentary, he did a podcast.
Oh, you found another documentary?
Well, it's not really a documentary, it's more like an interview. I said the wrong
Okay.
thing. It was an interview, which is an hour long, so I don't really recommend you watch it.
Well, just tell me the good parts.
Yeah, I will. I will get onto that. But when he was just talking about what his life was when he came to England, I just felt I could really relate to it.
Yeah.
So he was born in 1962 in Hong Kong. His father at the time was a tailor, but emigrated to Britain, hoping to work in the Chinese restaurant trade, which I'm sure a lot of Hong Kong immigrants or just Chinese immigrants would go to a Western country and start, a food business.
Yeah, we've got Brits that are doing it all wrong.
Yes. Brits in Wagamama doing it all wrong.
Come on!
Anyways. A bit of a complaining there. And then 3 years after his dad came to England, his mum joined him, and she left him and his siblings under the care of his grandparents. And I believe he's the eldest of his siblings.
Okay.
And
But he's still quite young. He must be about 60, 62.
And it wasn't until he turned 12 that he was able to reunite with his parents, and they settled in Norfolk.
Lovely.
Lovely Norfolk. Our Collie's going to go to Norfolk.
Yes, and I'm very jealous. My brother's girlfriend's in Norfolk. If you ever would listen to this, Jessie.
Aren't you in London?
Yeah, she was in London, but she's gone down for a nice weekend away. I learnt that this morning.
Nice.
So, yes.
Never been to Norfolk, but sounds like a good place.
Oh, it's lovely. Shout out all you Norfolk listeners.
None of them.
Yeah, none.
Oh, actually, when I was logged into Anchor...
I saw there was someone from Indonesia.
Yes, that's what I was going to say. There's quite a few from Indonesia.
So shout out to those from Indonesia if you ever listen again.
Indonesian fans, hello.
We say hello, and I'll hopefully be there soon next
We need
year.
to learn their language.
Yes. Teach us for free.
Because we are overworked and underpaid. Anyways, so he was saying in this interview, which was from a YouTube channel called Anything Is Possible, very inspirational. He said when he first
Do you have that
came,
printed and put on your wall at home?
Anything is possible.
Yours is like, pay me.
I am worth this amount of money without sounding like a sex worker.
Oh dear, Winnie.
Anyways, he endured racism, language barriers, and a huge culture shock when he first came to England, which is expected. And if you think back in...
It shouldn't be expected though, but unfortunately it is.
Unfortunately it is. It's not like nowadays where we're a bit more exposed to lots of diversity. But, you know, back in...
Especially somewhere in like Norfolk. Where did he...
It's a bit up north though, because there would be more diversity down south, like in London
Yeah, so that's
area.
what I was going to say. In Norfolk it would be... Yeah,
it'll be a new thing to
yeah,
see
a very
foreigners.
new thing, I think.
So yeah, he said in the interview that it was hard for him to adjust to the new environment, and it was especially hard because he was a poor immigrant. Although he talked about it being a struggle, he said the benefits of that situation was it forced him to be mature and to recognise and learn about life values very quickly.
Good.
Which relates to what my dad went through. He was saying that he was forced to take risks because he was poor. He
had to.
Yeah. He said when my mum and him came to England...
They came over together then?
Yes. So
That's
my
good.
dad was originally in England working because his sister was there. And then he went back to Hong Kong to marry my mum and then brought her
Oh,
over
how
to
romantic.
England. It's not that romantic.
And then he was like, come with me to England. She was like, for duck's sake. Yeah.
Yeah. And he said that when they first came, they had absolutely nothing and they were surviving on 1.5 pack of ramen a day.
Oh
so
my
like
God.
the instant one.
Did they we can't say the area that we live, but did they move where you live now? Or were they somewhere else?
Oh, they've had quite a few businesses. They did partnerships and all of that, but originally they worked for my aunt in London.
Okay.
And that was a takeaway shop, I think. Mostly takeaway businesses that they did. And then they moved down south and had a few businesses doing partnerships, and then they did their own business.
Which they rent out the building, I remember.
So, considering that they didn't really have much of an education, they did pretty well.
Well done. Shout out the Wong family.
The Wongs!
The Wongs!
So, moving on to Mr. Yao's career. Yao did not develop the taste or the palate of a restaurant connoisseur and even hated the food industry due to the long hours, which, understandable, especially when you get hangry people and you have to move at a really fast pace when you're working in the food industry.
Yes. And a lot of people would critique it quite highly, even though to get sort of money off, do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So they'd go, oh, this wasn't cooked, this wasn't cooked. And actually, it was fine, but they want money off.
I knew my parents' customers were like that.
Yeah.
They were very picky. I was like, you're getting the best here, so shut up and eat it.
Yeah. Shut up and open your mouth and eat it.
Exactly. And it's really stressful because if you think about food safety, if someone says they've got an allergy...
Which is a big thing now as well, a lot more current.
I think we're more aware of it in this country because you've got all these menus and they tell you,
Well, do you know why it's become a big thing?
People died.
Yes, I think it was Leon Burger.
Oh no!
Yes.
I ate there.
I think it was either there or Pret a Manger, but I'm pretty sure it was Leon Burger because my mum was telling me. And this guy had dairy. It wasn't intolerant. It was actually allergic to dairy.
Oh god.
And it was buttermilk chicken.
Oh fudge.
But yeah, I don't really. It's quite. I'll look into it and actually. I don't want to say that if it was wrong, but I think he obviously he ate it and within like a couple of hours he only had one bit and he sort of was like, this isn't right, and then within a few hours he died. But then this is why now everywhere you go to a restaurant they say, have you got any allergies you'd like us to let us know about? And we're always like, no.
And then they would always put out a disclaimer, we can't be 100% allergy free. There would be trace amounts.
Yeah. Well, I have to just sort of have a quick anecdote because I used to work at a milkshake shop for many a year, and I've had customers that have come in and they would want it was an OMG, which was Oreo and Reese's peanut butter cups, and then they'd say, well, thank God, they'd say, oh, my child is allergic to nuts, sir. And I go, okay, A, you've ordered one with peanut butter cups in, so read the bloody menu. And we have jugs that we wash out. We had jugs that we washed out, don't work there anymore, but there would still be traces, you know, so we could never guarantee to anyone, so we would just say we'd rather you not choose it, even if they go, oh, well, I'll just have a smoothie, can't guarantee there's no traces. Anyway, we digress.
Yeah, he had experience in the restaurant industry as he worked in his dad's Chinese takeaway in the evenings and during the weekends when he was younger. Alan originally started off as a management trainee for GKN. I don't know what kind of company it is, but it sounds pretty big. But decided to become an entrepreneur because he wanted to earn lots of money in a short amount of time.
Good on you, Alan.
And he was saying when he was working for the GKN company, he had a line manager who was an accountant, and he was earning like 30k. But if you think at that time, that was
probably quite a lot. Yeah, I guess
that's
in this time,
pretty fair amount.
Yeah,
but not for Alan. He wanted more. He was money hungry.
I like that ambition in Alan.
Yeah, but that's what led him to create Wagamama and many others. So this led him to enter the catering industry as he was familiar with this field. And in 1988, he set up his first takeaway business in Peterborough, and later on managed to open other restaurants. And he spent time working as a trainee in Hong Kong in a McDonald's franchise. I'm thinking about French fries. Franchise program, and used the training mentality he gained from that program to use for his concept in his next restaurant. So knowledge and skills he needs to. So he was working there. I think he was working there for like a couple of years, and he came back to the UK, and at the time he had a Japanese lodger who told him that her homesick meal was a bowl of ramen. And this was the inspiration for the foundation of Wagamama.
Oh my god, that's crazy.
Yeah. Just because...
See what you learned here on this pod?
Just because she wanted her own home meal, and now Wagamama was made. So Alan thought it was fairly easy to replicate because a bowl of ramen only needed 3 components, which is soup, base, noodles and toppings. And that
Can I just say I've never actually had a ramen from Wagamama's.
I think I had.
I had lots of ramens when I was away, but I haven't had... So, sorry, I just thought I actually need to try that.
We'll film it.
We will go, I'll have a ramen, and you'll have something that you're going to...
It's going to cost us 20 quid.
Please donate. Donate for our trip.
Oh yeah, we actually have a donate button on the website.
I deleted it.
Darn it! We're going to open it back up.
I saw it the other day and I thought, I'm just going to delete that, because you don't actually have to donate to us, guys. I mean, we are overworked and unpaid, but...
But our PO box is...
Yeah.
We don't actually have one.
Send one. No, we don't. We can get one sorted. Like this, if you think we need one. If you'd send something.
Send us money.
Please.
In 1992, that was when he founded the first ever Wagamama in Bloomsbury, London. But he didn't stay there for too long. He
doesn't stay in many places too long, does he, Alan?
No, I think he's the kind of business person who would start up a project, be in there for a couple of years, and if it wasn't challenging enough for him creatively and, you know, I don't know,
he wouldn't stick around and kind of move on to the next.
Yeah, he would move on because he's always creating new projects and new restaurants.
I want to see a picture. Can you post a picture on the Instagram when you?
Yes.
When we
the inspirational man.
Yeah, I'd like to see that.
Yes. I will do that one on Instagram / Twitter.
Yeah, sorry, / Twitter.
Yeah, so 5 years later, Yao sold Wagamama to a private equity in 1997, so not that long ago.
5 years after it opened.
Yeah. And then it was later bought out by the restaurant group, which owns Frankie's and Benny's, Prezzo, quite a few restaurants. It's a huge restaurant chain.
What is that chain called?
The restaurant group.
Right, sorry. Okay. Oh, just saw the price.
Yeah, they really spent money on Wagamamas. They paid £559 million
You heard it here, folks.
on Wagamamas because they saw so much potential in it.
Wow.
And when Alan Yao was interviewed by the Sunday Times about the loss of fortune, I'm using quotation fingers, he replied, "Material wealth doesn't interest or drive me," which I can see that because he
sort of came from nothing, and he could have then been like, "Oh, do you know what? I'm earning enough now. Like, I'll just stop." But he kept going and wanting more.
Yeah.
But not money, just to relish his experience. And yeah, that wasn't the right word, but you know what I mean. In relish.
Now I'm thinking about relish sauce.
So am I. I don't know what's wrong with me.
But he values spirituality, meditation after spending 9 months in a Thai monastery. And do you know why he did that?
No.
Because he got really stressed and, like us, got overworked.
Aww. That's very nice. Meditation.
Yeah.
But I know the Thai monasteries, and they're all the Zen is just lovely buildings and things as well.
I've never been, but I would like to go.
Yeah, definitely go. I can show you some pictures.
Oh, you've been?
Yeah.
Oh, snap. Okay.
Yeah.
So it took a toll on his life, and it led to him developing Bell's palsy, which paralyzes your face.
Oh my god.
So yeah,
When
really
did he
suffered.
develop that?
I'm not entirely sure. Maybe the early 2000s, perhaps.
Oh. And is that due to stress?
Stress, just working non-stop. He's quite a creative person and has a huge drive, so I guess he wouldn't stop until
he's happy.
His project is finalised. And then in 2001, he founded a high-end restaurant called Hakkasan, which I talked to you about last week. Which is
your dad's friend work there, no?
Yeah, my dad has friends who works there, and it's a very high-end.
Where is it? We should go. Can't afford.
Mate, we can't afford it. Have you seen the? I'll show you the menu.
Yeah, please show me the menu.
Maybe we should link it.
Go.
Actually, I do have the link for the website on here.
Oh, good.
Because on the website it talks about Alan Yao, the founder of the restaurant, and other things as well. But it offers authentic Chinese cuisine using the finest ingredients. Yao and his family are considered Hakka, which are people from southern China who speaks the dialect Hakka, which my dad and my mum also speaks, but I don't really speak it.
And how do you say that? Hakka.
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 Yeah, oh, nice pronunciation.
Thank you.
So he created the name Hakka-san to demonstrate the respect he shared for people of similar traits to him and his family. Hakka referring to his childhood experience / family culture, and san, which is a title added to the end of words in Japanese to show deep